Okay, and we're back again. Oh, good lord. Alright, hello. Back again, and hopefully I sound a bit chirpier in this video. So, what do I want to talk about? Pro wrestling. There was something on my mind, and let's share it out here on the World Wide Web. A lot of people are talking about Brock Lesnar and who his opponents could be, and guys they can build up for him, you know, within the next year or so. And I know about a year ago, let me get this out of the way, everyone said Ryback. Ryback seemed like an opponent they could build up within the next year, do something at WrestleMania maybe, because outside of that, really, who else is there? Guys he's already faced, like Cena, who he shouldn't have lost to, Undertaker, who he's already feuded with before in his career, Triple H, which sucked the life out of me. I do not, apparently, they might do it again, but I do not want to see another match. I would rather staple my eyelids to this table than want to see another one of their matches. Who else is there? The Rock, which I think would be, you know, pop a nice little number up for everybody. Pick out my earwax. Randy Orton, they've never done before, which they could do if they turn Lesnar face. But Orton, to be honest with you, I mean, Orton's just Orton at this point. He's just, you might as well have a cardboard cutout and stick a belt on him and tell me that that's your model champion at this point. Who else is there? I mean, you know, there's just all these, CM Punk as well, and Daniel Bryan, which is another name, which I wouldn't mind seeing if they did that, but do I think they would take that risk? Maybe not. And based on the way that they've treated the guy, that's another video for another time, which I won't do just yet. But I was just watching Raw, and obviously you've got the Shield. There would be another group if they all split. I could see them doing something with him and Reigns. I could see them doing something with Ambrose. Rollins I'm not sure about, because as talented as he is, I don't know how much they see in him just yet. I think he's awesome, and I think he'd be a great addition to your main event scene. But I was watching Raw, and one thing that caught my eye, or got my attention, was the Intercontinental title match. So yes, indeed, I am talking about Big E Langston, and I felt that he had more potential than Ryback, because I think he, at his stage, looks like a better wrestler than Ryback visually to watch. And I watched some of his stuff on NXT where they gave him the title there, and he showed a lot of improvement based on, you know, I used to watch him in FCW, because I used to watch FCW all the time, and I thought he was just a generic powerlifter guy doing that, you know, but then I've noticed from that time to NXT there's been an improvement. He's, you know, doing a little bit more, and I noticed actually he does have a bit of charisma there, and he can talk. And I watched some of his NXT material, and I was like, you know what, he can actually get over on the main roster doing this act if they let him, and they don't, you know, make him look like a complete fool. And I thought, well, we won't see him on the main roster for a while anyways, because he still needs some experience and he's got to grow into the role. Like, I think the NXT belt is like a test run to see if someone can then make it to the main roster as the, you know, one of their main event guys. And I can't remember how old he is. I think he's like 23 maybe? I think he's 23. He's a young man, and he's got a great build, you know, big, physically, you know, imposing looking man, and he's not an uncoordinated buffoon. You get a lot of guys like that, like Mason Ryan, who are not the best guys in the world, and you watch them and you just sort of like, oh, got 2 left feet. Whereas he actually seems to be quite coordinated, and he seems to have some potential. Now, I'm not going around saying this is a guy that can be in the, you know, G1 Climax tournament in Japan and wrestle a 45-minute strong style match with Tanahashi, and then come back 10 minutes later and wrestle Okada for another 55 minutes, and then go in there with Hashimoto, the son, and then do a match with him, and then go back and then out wrestle Luthez if he went back in time. I'm just saying this is a guy that looks like he has some kind of potential that they could do something with, and we all know the WWE, we all know how they, you know, what they believe is a star, and he's someone that kind of does fit the mold of that star. Now, I don't think he's as tall as guys that they would like to push. I believe he's like 5'11", 6 foot, but he does look physically imposing, and he's got that just tremendous, you know, that tremendous physical build, and I could see them doing something with him. And I watched him against Curtis Axel, and he ended that reign that just went on for like 800 years, and he beat Curtis Axel, and there seemed to be some crowd support behind him, and I was quite impressed by that. Now, did I like when they called him up at the beginning of the year with Dolph Ziggler and AJ. Yes, I did. I mind it because if he's just going to be the bodyguard, that's a good role. So long as they don't make him look stupid and don't do anything stupid with him, I think he'll do well. However, what they started doing is having him cut these wacky promos and these bizarre voices, which I thought was a bit weird. And it seemed to be his gimmick as he's this powerful, very imposing man. And when he was doing the tug of war with Dolph and Cena, Cena was able to just swing Dolph away, and Langston goes flying backwards, which I felt didn't help him, because I think that kind of hurt his image a bit. But he, has somewhat recovered from that, and he just looks like someone that has a lot of potential. And he wrestled, it looked like he would be with AJ for a while. Then they kind of separated him from AJ. Then he was kind of, lost in limbo. And now they're starting to do things with me. He was a babyface. He helped out CM Punk against Axel and Ryback. And now they've given him a feud with... They gave him a feud with Ambrose, who I still think he looked a bit rough around the edges. That collision, I think some of that is his fault. But hopefully he's young enough where he can still learn to get better. And if he improves at the rate that he does, he's definitely someone I could see them doing something with. And then he wrestled Curtis Axel, and he won the Intercontinental title. And it looks like there are plans for him to be built up. And I believe if they have a plan for a year, and they stop this god-awful stop-start nonsense that they've been doing for years. When they bring a guy, we're pushing him, now we're going to bury him to see if he's really over. Now we're going to push him, now we're going to bury him, now we're going to... I hope they don't do that with him. I hope they just stop that crap altogether, to tell you the truth. Because when you keep on doing it, fans lose faith. But it looks like with Biggie Langston, if they give him a plan for a year to see where he gets to, then after that year they revise where he's at, then do another 6 months. He could be a guy that they could believably make into a main event star, potentially. I'm not saying he will be, but potentially they could make him into a main event star, and someone that's based on him not getting injured, him not getting a big head, and him improving in all aspects of the game. He could be someone that they could rely on, and I could see him having a feud with a John Cena for the title. I could see him having a feud with someone like, good lord, Randy Orton. I could see him having feuds with a lot of main event guys just because of how he looks. And I can see some potential, though, in ring with him. And he's all right on the stick, to be honest. And he actually is a lot better on the stick in NXT. So I think that there is something they can do with him. And apparently he's quite a smart guy, too. And if they can tap into all of those things and make him a likeable babyface, they've got something there. And if they continue to protect him and they don't do what they did with Ryback, where they just had to have him lose and lose and lose, and now he's, worthless, they could have a potential opponent for Brock Lesnar. And I'll tell you what, that would be very interesting to see. And I think, I pray to the man upstairs, not Vince McMahon, I pray to the man upstairs that they don't get it wrong with him and they actually do something with him. And I mean, if they get it right with him, and they have Roman Reigns on the other roster and they get it right with him, you've got two potential big heavyweights that you could do something with together. God, I'm swearing, sorry. Together, and feud with other people. And then I just hope they do that. But people are talking about someone that could go in there with Brock Lesnar in the future, outside of a Daniel Bryan, who's on the way up, Alberto Del Rio, who just means nothing. I could see Biggie Langston being one of those guys, and I could see him being pushed in a similar way that Goldberg was in WCW, and hopefully they get it right with him, and he's young enough where he could just get better and better. I hope he doesn't end up like Bobby Lashley, where Bobby Lashley did, despite what people say, he did have potential. The problem is they called him up way too early before he was even ready, and it showed. And the only thing they could do is protect him in short squash matches. When he was made to go outside of that, you could see his holes. He wasn't necessarily ready to cut promos, and he just had the stigma of being this guy that just wasn't ready and just being one of Vince's guys because he's big and muscular. And I think that really hurt him. And hopefully they don't do that with Biggie Langston, and I hope people don't get on me for saying, oh, you're just saying it because they're both big black guys. No. I'm saying it. I need to rethink about that, actually. But the point is, I don't want to see them do that with him, and I don't want to see them do that with other guys like a Roman Reigns or Dean Ambrose or Seth Rollins. I want them to actually have plans and don't rush them into something and expose their holes, and then they've got no credibility, and then it's just harder and harder to do. Look at what happened to Chris Masters. Called up before he was ready, when he started to get credibility and started to improve as a wrestler, he already had the stigma of being a big jacked up guy that didn't know what he was doing, and now look where he is. He should be on the main roster now anyways. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to say. Tell me what you think about that. Could you see Biggie Langston being a guy to feud with a Brock Lesnar? Can you see Biggie Langston being kind of the next big star in the company? Do you think that I'm talking a load of bollocks? Let me know. I would love to hear what people say. Who else do you think else? What would you do if you were booking him? And I hope they don't do a Sheamus with him too, because I think that hurt Sheamus. The fact that Sheamus was pushed onto the main roster in 3 months, given a title feud on Raw after 4 weeks of being on that show, given the title, just pushed down our throats as this badass, and no one really bought into it, and there wasn't enough time for us to invest in him. And then by the time he won the Royal Rumble in 2011, did we really care? No. He's a very good wrestler. He's a very good worker. He's not awful. He's a solid to pretty decent wrestler, but people don't care because they've done so much of him so soon that by the time he had the second climb, nobody cared. And he's unlikable as a babyface too. I can't stand him as a babyface. He just sounds like an idiot with these little jiggles and folk tales all the time. I mean, I don't want to know about people marching down the old, farm and squirting milk from a cow's nipples or whatever. How's that going to convince me you want to kick someone's ass? And I hope they don't take the Sheamus blueprint and apply that to Biggie Langston. I hope they do something else. Anyways, I'm going to stop. You let me know what you think. This is 2 videos for the price of 1. And yeah, guys, take care. If you haven't seen this channel before, do MMA, wrestling, comic books, boxing, comment, rate, subscribe. Hopefully I'll see Thor this week and I'll tell you all about that. And I am out. Bye.